Hi and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Today we would be having another round of live mock DSA. Today we have Parvesh with us. Hi Parvesh, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. What about you?
Yeah, I'm fine too. Okay, so just a bit of an introduction about me. So I'm Siddhartha Hazra. I'm basically a candidate master at Code Courses, an SD intern and mentor at Geeks for Geeks. So let's proceed with today's session. So yeah, Parvesh, tell me a bit about yourself.
Sir, I'm currently pursuing in BSc Computer Applications, and I'm an upcoming SD intern at Healthians in Gurgaon.
Fair enough. So can you talk a bit about your projects that you have done? Because you seem to be a developer guy.
Yes, sir. So, sir, for the technology parts, I know about the React JS for the front end and Ruby on Rails for back end, and I made web applications on these frameworks, around 2 to 3 web applications using these frameworks, and
Can
I
you
built.
can you can you describe any one of them?
Okay, so first of all, I made a medicinal platform. So basically, it is a platform for the donors and the needy ones. So who are in the need of the medicines or who have plenty of medicines, so they can donate or sell at a cheaper rate. And who are in the need of the medicines, or the person who are not. Actually, I built this platform during the COVID time, when there is so much unemployment and people can't meet their routine things like medicines, and so I just built the platform so the people can sell at cheaper rates, and who can't afford the medicines can get from these donors. So this is the project that I made, named it as a medicine platform. I use the simple HTML, CSS and JavaScript on the front end, and I
Mhm.
use PHP as a server side language, and database is MySQL. So that was the first project, and the second project that I made is a e-commerce platform that is a fully end-to-end encrypted e-commerce platform. I use a React.js for a front end and a Redux library to just manage the store, and for back end I just use the Firebase for the
Okay,
configurations.
okay. Fair enough. So now we would be having the live mock PSA run. So I have shared with you a document, Google Docs. So kindly share your screen, turn off the notifications to respect your privacy, and then we will start writing.
Oh, sure. Is it visible, sir?
Okay. Yeah, just open the doc.
Wait a minute, sir.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, fair. Let's proceed. So in the first question itself, you would be given two strings and you need to tell if they both are anagram of each other or no. So
Okay.
what do you mean by anagram? Anagram boils down to the definition that each character has the same frequency. So I will just give you an example of what it is. Suppose we have the first string like this. Okay, this I will update in the doc. So if we have the first string like geeks for geeks, and the next is for geeks and then again geeks. So here E has a frequency of 4 and here also E has a frequency of 2. And then we have the K. K has a frequency of 2 and K has a frequency of 2 in B also. So here you would come to the conclusion that every character has a frequency same. That is why they are anagram of each other.
Okay.
Fair enough? So how would you proceed to solve this question?
So I think we can do this question by using a nested loop, two
Okay,
nested loops.
okay.
So we start
How
from
would you
the
do that, Mr. Blue?
okay. So we can just start from the first index, zeroth index, and we can check from the another string that whether it is present or not. So if it is present, then we can just simply increase the count of that particular character. So So I think apart from this, we can just simply use a hash map. So
Okay.
what we can do just take a hash map and we just iterate a string. First of all, a string e. So first we got the first character g. We can increase it frequency by one, and then we get e. We can again increase its frequency by one. We get again e. So g has a frequency in this is two, and e has frequency four. Let us suppose. So
Mhm.
now what we can do? So can I write it there on
Yeah,
the doc?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So wait, G has a frequency 2, E has frequency 4, and K has also frequency 2.
Okay.
So,
Okay, understood. So what would be the time complexity for this approach?
so time complexity will be order of n only, and the space complexity is also order of n because we use a hash map there, an auxiliary
Oh,
array.
okay. So tell me which hash map would you use in STL? So if you would be using STL, then there are two maps available to us. What are the two maps available to us?
Sorry, sir, actually, I can't hear you.
Yeah. So am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. So if you are using hash map, so you would be using a different data structure or you would be moving forward with the map in STL.
Sir, actually, I just simply use an array.
Okay.
Actually, I do
And,
DSA in
and
C language.
what would be the size of the array?
Size of the array.
Array. Yeah.
Size of the array will be uh, if there is only a small case letters, then I will take up to 26, and
Mhm.
if there is a uppercase and lowercase both, then I will take 52
Okay.
size of
Fair
hash map.
enough. So here it is given that everything is lowercase. So can you implement it?
Yes, so I have to write a code there.
Yeah. I will just give you the function. You don't need to write the full code.
Okay.
I will just provide you the function in the doc itself. Yeah. Just complete the function.
So shall I write?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So first of all, we will wait. So we will take a hash map. Let us say hash of size 26, and
Mhm.
we will clear this with a 0. Initially, it is 0. So
Okay.
now what we can do, we can just start with the initial for loop, which is written from I is equal to 0 to string a of I
Mm.
not equal to null character
Okay.
and I plus plus. So in this for loop, what we will do, we will just calculate the frequency of the characters in a string A. So we will just take a hash map and increase the frequency in the hash map. So
Okay.
now we will now in this for loop we will this for loop now in this for loop we will do we will now going to iterate through the loop b, sorry, string
Okay.
b of I not equal to null character I plus plus. So now in this loop what we will do, we will check whether the frequency of the particular character is valid or not.
Mhm.
Like we have a can I just use pen and paper?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Just give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect.
Now, what we will do, we will in this for loop, we will first
Hmm.
of all we will decrease the frequency of that
Okay.
particular character from the hash map. And now we will check whether the frequency is less than zero. Whether the frequency is less than zero. If it's less than zero, then we can simply return false. Otherwise, the loop will go on. So now we let us see the condition. G has frequency
Hmm.
2 and O has frequency 1. So now
Okay.
what we do, so and F has also frequency of 1. So what this loop will do, first when we go on the when we are on the zeroth index, that is on F, what it will do, it will just decrease the frequency from the hash map.
Okay.
Now the frequency will be 0. Now if the frequency will be 0, then we don't have to do anything. Now F for F it will be 0, and when O there again it will be 0. When we are on a R, it will again be 0 because the strings are anagram as we see. Suppose if we just can I write in the string B something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Suppose we just add a one character more, that is J. So if we
Okay.
add J into it, now when J comes into this loop, we will decrease the frequency of J from the hash map. Now it will
Okay.
become
Understood.
less than 0. So it will
Yeah,
return false.
you can move forward. It's understood. Yeah, right.
So at last, if we can get anything returning false, we can just simply return true.
Okay. Okay. So you are done from your end.
Yes.
Okay. So this would give you an error. This would give you an error. So just see where you can. So I would just make the font size a little bit large. So tell them just try to find the error.
While initializing an hash map,
You need to see it by yourself.
okay,
This will throw you an error. You just try to change it.
okay. Just give me 2 minutes.
Just below the share button, there is an arrow located just after this editing. Kindly click on that.
Sorry, where? Editing.
Just just after that, on the right hand side, there is
There.
arrow. Yeah, yeah. Just click on that. Yeah, it's fine. Continue. And make it
Uh,
full. And can you make this browser full screen if possible, so that everyone can have a clear view?
mm,
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. This is absolutely fine.
okay.
Yeah.
So, wait, just me. Let me try run.
Okay, sure. Just do the try to do the driving for some edge cases.
Okay.
Hi Lilith, how are you? Dastargir, can you please confirm if this okay and it is perfectly visible or not? Yeah, absolutely. No, no, no. Anagram means that the first string, every character in first string would have the same frequency as every character in the second string, and vice versa. Limit. Whose voice is too low? Mine or Parvesh? The left side panel is taking three-fourth, one-fourth of the screen. Both serve. I think it is happening because we both are using mic. So I just tested there is no option to increase the audio. Yeah, there is no option to that. Yes, he seems to be using the hashing technique. Hi Jacqueline, how are you? Okay, I will try to speak a little bit louder. I hope now this is clear. This is audible enough because this seems to be the only PC way to solve this issue.
Sir, I think the error will be in the initialization of hash map. Else, I think it's fine.
Okay, so what we would do is we would talk about this after after we are done with it.
Sorry,
On
after.
the after the second question is done and we are complete with this interview, then I will tell you.
Okay.
Okay, fair. So now let us move to the next question. We are given the in order and the post order traversal of a binary tree. Okay, the task
Okay.
is to construct the binary tree from these traversals.
Okay.
Okay, now I would give you a test case. Let me just paste it. Yeah,
So we have to construct a binary tree from a in-order traversal and a post-order traversal, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Let me just write it.
Yeah, and this is basically how the tree would look. I will just remove the formatting itself. Yeah. Okay, I don't think. So we are just producing the pre-order traversal of the tree.
Sorry.
Okay, we are given the in-order and the post-order, and we need to output the post pre-order traversal.
Okay.
And then I'm just trying to attach the image to so that it will be more helpful to you. Yeah, the image is attached as of now. Did he understand the question? Because I didn't. Yeah, he has. I don't try to move forward unless the other person is clear with the question. So, are you clear with the question, Parvesh, of this?
Uh,
Because
yes, yes, sir.
okay, were you clear with the last question?
Sorry.
Were you clear? Did you understood the last question? There was no form of
And
miscommunication.
an anagram question, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thanks a lot. Absolutely, absolutely. Abhishek got it right. Yeah, you missed that.
So, sir, I think in this question, what we can do is, we can first of all we have to see the post order traversal from the last, like
Okay,
one. So one will be the root node for the tree.
okay,
So now we will just search one in the in order traversal
okay.
and using a binary search because as it is an in order traversal.
Hmm.
Sorry, just give me a minute.
Hi Sachin, how are you? Please scroll little high, not able to see the complete question. The complete question is okay, you want to see the complete question. Wait a sec. इसका भी जुगाड़ लगा देते हैं ना इतना परेशान क्यों होना yeah now you can see the complete question so is this layout better or is this layout better? What is the scenario? I'm not asking you Parvesh, it's so quickly tell me which layout is better, this layout or this layout.
Sir, actually, I want to know one thing that
Hmm.
we will start from the last of the post order traversal. That is one that will be the root node for sure, right?
Hmm.
So now for one, what we can do, we can search in the in order traversal, and we can split the list one the from the one that the left hand side will be the left subtree and
Hmm.
the right side will be the right subtree,
That's okay, absolutely.
and then we'll get the minimum value from the left and right, and we'll create a node for that value and again split a left side for the left subtree and split
Okay,
a right side for
why are we picking up the minimum element.
Uh, why are we taking with the minimum value?
Mi- Minimum
Because
value.
the descendants of actually just see the according to diagram I told you that if we
Yeah, it's absolutely fine. Just be calm and then try to think. It's absolutely fine. You're going in the correct direction.
okay,
We have 45 people here. So let's start the same thing again. So tell me the state in which you are. So currently I'm in Kolkata. Currently I'm in West Bengal, Kolkata, but I am from Dhanbad, Jharkhand. What about you all? Let me see from which part of the country we have people. Or do we have someone outside India too? Gujarat. Okay. Bhavik. Yeah, I remember you from the last mock interview too. You were from Gujarat. Okay, fair enough. Anyone else? Parichan from Jaipur. Okay. Palamu, Jharkhand. Okay. Fair enough. Bangalore. Fair enough. Others? What about others? Sachin
sir,
Goyal. Yeah, tell me.
sir, I think that approach will work. That is what I already told, that we will start from the last and split the list. And,
Okay. So we split. Suppose we split it the list and then.
when we split up the list, we will take a minimum value from that and we'll create a node of it, and we will
Okay.
again split the left side for the left subtree and right for the right subtree.
Okay. But if you go and understand the question, it is not written that it is a binary search tree.
Yeah.
So strictly it would be have following the properties of binary search tree. A binary tree would follow the properties of binary search tree. It is not mandatory.
Mm, yeah.
That is also the scenario because we are not told this. We are just told that we are given a binary tree.
Got it.
I'm from Haryana. Okay. Anyone from Kolkata at the moment? Because we have a lot of engineering colleges in Kolkata, and most of the audience in mock interview seeing this would be engineers only appearing. Ashutosh is from Kolkata. Okay, Ashutosh, okay. I'm not from Kolkata. I'm currently in Kolkata. Telangana. Okay, fair enough. From Jaipur. We have a lot of people from Jaipur. I think you, Pari, and all are from the same college. Because there is a college, Jaipur in college, there is a very famous college, and I'm not able to again tell you the name. I'm forgetting the name. I think so. There is a college, very popular college. I'm currently taking Sandeep Sir classes. Fair enough. I'm from Bhilwara. Okay. What about others? I'm currently taking Sandeep Sir classes from your college. Where do you work? I don't work. I'm currently a third year student in Netaji Subhash Engineering College. That is in New Garhia, Kolkata. I don't. I'm doing my internship at GeeksforGeeks. Okay, okay. NSIT. No, NSIT is very different. NSEC, this is a private engineering college. NSIT is in Delhi. Mine is NSEC, Netaji Subhash Engineering College. That one is tier 1 or tier 2. I'm from tier 3. Bhaiya, itni easy problem. This one is not an easy problem. The first one was an easy problem. The second is not an easy problem from my point of view. It is easy if you are very strong with basics. Roadmap for DSA, can you explain? So basically, you need to start off with arrays like cadence algorithm, prefix sum, sweep line algorithm. Sweep line algorithm should be there. Many people miss that. Then you should move forward with recursion, with dynamic programming. Piyush Bhai region. Okay, fair enough.
Sir, I think I'm not getting the main point of this question to solve actually.
Okay, it's absolutely fine. Okay, so so there is. So I will just give you the hint itself. So
Okay.
you are getting the root of the you are getting the root of the tree. So
Yes.
can you get the root of the left subtree? Just try to think in this way.
Root of the left side.
भैया मैं सवाल करके भूल जाता हूँ. It's because you try to focus more on the solution. But what you can do is, whenever you're not able to solve a particular problem, just try to think in this way that next time if I approach a similar question like this, how to come up with a solution like this. This should be your aim. What is the solution for this? This should be the secondary motive. The first motive and the primary motive should be if I get a similar question like this, how will I get the intuition from this? This should be your first goal. It's not a basic tree problem. Basic tree problem, you can say that you need to print the pre-order, post-order, and order. But that is basic tree problem. So if this is basic, then in which category will fall the post-ordering and analysis? Can we find the most of them?
I didn't
Yeah,
get this
this
answer.
okay. It's absolutely fine. Okay, so I will just tell you. So kindly go back to the first question. Just scroll down. Okay, so just do the dry run when the number of characters. Suppose we have 4a. Okay, I will just give you a test case where this would your solution would fail. So
Okay.
just do the dry run where a is equals to a and b is equals to a. Just this.
Sorry. A has a frequency of 4, right?
Yeah, and in
And B.
b a has a frequency of 3. So these two are not the
Okay.
anagram of each other. So just go down and you would know.
So they are not anagram, right?
No, they are not anagram. But your solution would tell us that this is an anagram.
Okay. Just wait a minute.
Yeah, just check it. Instead, give a DP problem. So basically, when we are asked with the feedback, when we are given the form of the mock interview, we ask them what is the weak point and what is the strong point. So the question entirely depends on the level of the candidate. Okay, like if a candidate doesn't know TP problem, then kind of asking him the DP problem on a public platform is not feasible, to be honest, because this is not a real interview, this is a mock interview. And this is meant for a real life experience of the candidate, one level up, and to portray what would be the flow of the interview. That is the main motive here. The main motive is not to give a very hard level question like binary lifting and all, and then trying to shut up the candidate. This is not the motive. Yeah, let us do the dry run for this case. Yeah, Piyush, Parvesh, can you move forward with the dry run of this case?
Yes. So, sir, what we can do, we can check there also that if the frequency is less than zero, but when this for loop finishes, we can have again another for loop in the hash map to check the frequency. If the whether the frequency of any index, if it will not equal to zero, then it will not anagram.
Okay. So you got where you were making mistake?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's move to the second part. I told that you would be getting an error, not a wrong answer. Okay. The first
Okay.
part was making an error. The second part was running your solution on edge cases and it would fail on that. So the first part where the error would occur is that we have the character A. So A is ASCII value. If you take advantage of its ASCII value and you hash it to an array, then A has an ASCII value of 97. So now to make it zero index, to map A with
So,
zero,
sorry.
yeah, so you need to subtract the value of 97,
So,
or what you don't need to remember 97, you just need to subtract the value of it. I don't personally remember the ASCII values of everyone. I always mess up between the lowercase and the uppercase. So it's
exactly.
the same case with me too. It's absolutely fine. Okay. Now now after this solution should work seamlessly. But there is one more level of optimization for this. So if we
Okay.
talk about this, then getting the size is big O of 1. Okay, that is constant. So what you can do is instead of doing and iterating over the string, you can quickly check if the sizes are different or not. If the sizes differ, then they are absolutely not an anagram and there is no use of moving forward. Okay,
Okay.
fair enough. So this was it. Now let's move to the next one.
Okay.
Kindly go on. Yeah, Lalit, yeah, absolutely correct. You don't need to remember the ASCII values. Okay, why can't we not use hash map of string type? Okay, so what needs to be done is if we are using map in STL, then hashing a particular character would take log n operation. And if you are using unordered map in STL, which has an average time complexity of big of 1, but the worst time complexity would go to big of n square. So the best option is to use an array of size 26. Okay, fair enough. These are constructive. Most of the chat should have know this problem. I expect a good level of problem from GeeksforGeeks so that we can also learn new things. Okay, I would reply to you again. Okay, seems like you need to be told again. Okay, just I would reply you the same. So in the in-order traversal given, we know that we first found out the root of this from the post order. Okay, now we know that 4825 lies in the left part of it. Fair enough? So
Yes.
now you need to go to the post order and you need to search 4825. So if you just observe, 8452 is there in the post order. Okay. Now
Yes.
8425 again you have that. So this is the portion of the left subtree. Now you would again come to the first character of that and you would come to the conclusion
Okay.
that 2 is the root of the left subtree.
Got it.
Fair enough? And you would do the same for 637. Okay, 637 can be found on, see, 673 is given, and then 3 would be the root of the right side.
Got it.
Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
And then you can go with the same algorithm again and again using recursion.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so that's it. Now the feedback part. But before the feedback, I would just reply to Piyush because this concern came many a times that these are constructive. Most of the chat should know this problem. I expect a good level of problem from GeeksforGeeks so that we can also learn new things. So basically, if you observe the latest trends from hiring rounds, a majority of the problems are constructive. Okay, if you just observe the problem set of code forces and you keep aside the questions of that, they seem very akin to each other. That's why for the present latest trends, the focus should be more on constructive. Okay. Now, basically, to give you more things of this, the first question was of hashing with very good level of optimization. The next was a very great understanding of in-order, post-order, and pre-order. If you're very thorough with in-order, post-order, and pre-order, and if you have worked with trees, then only you can move forward. The first problem was meant to be an easy one without optimization, but with optimization, it falls under the category of in between easy and medium. The next problem was a medium problem. Fair. Okay. So now let's go back to what I was saying. Now let comes the session of feedback. So I will just remove your screen. You can now unshare your screen.
Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. So in the scenario of feedback, while you are trying to understand the solution, while you are trying to writing down your thoughts, and then you are when you are implementing, you are explaining very finely. Okay, you are you are absolutely flawless at that. But when you are writing down the pen and paper, kindly try to just portray what you are thinking. In which direction are you going? Otherwise, the other person would kind of be very inclusive what the other person is doing. Okay, did you understand what
Right.
I'm trying to convey?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. This was it from my side. Just be little bit thorough with the DSA thing, and you would be fine because your understanding is very good. Okay. So, any questions to me, or the session would end?
Sir, actually, I want to know one thing that whether we actually I used to do web development or desktop development or my mobile development. I actually had done DSA at a very basic level just to go through the different data structures and to just see the things like they are. But I never use these in the web development or any sort of development. So
Mhm.
why, whether we are doing data structures to increase our development skills or like to just crack the placements only or like that.
Seems like if I reply this would lie in a controversy. Okay. But what I'm going to say is not that I'm telling that no, I am absolutely correct. Of whatever I have perceived or whatever I have understood from the current scenario, it is absolutely personal. It is not kind of truth. Leave it, take it, or leave it. Kind of a little bit understanding of what I understood from these things. So
Uh,
what I
so,
understood was,
so just
I
can you
al-
give me a minute? Actually, the laptop just going
yeah,
on. So
absolutely, absolutely.
just give me a minute.
Okay, how to give this type of DSA more. So just fill up the form given in the description or search any of the mentor teams from Geeks for Geeks and mail them your resume and they would be more than happy. And if you want me to be your interviewer, just send me your resume and tell me. I would be more than happy to interview you. Screwing these problems would be fun. So, okay, fair enough.
Hello, hello.
But
Uh,
yeah,
am I
yeah,
audible?
it's your perfectly audible. So, Piyush, Okay, but the comments you are giving is kind of portraying that you are not confident, you are overconfident. So I would be, I would love to interview, to be honest. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so now Parvesh, your thing. So what I understood was I have been also working as a SDE for the last 5 months or 6 months. So according to the understanding I have done, the learning of DSA, the problem solving and competitive programming, these all things. So see, problem solving and competitive programming has helped me to a very good level. That yes, I'm able to review codes, code bases. I'm able to understand them. I'm able to debug them. But the algorithms as such, I have not used them to a very great extent or a very minor extent, I can say so. So don't know. I might use it in future, but as of now, I have not used it. Okay, fair enough. So this was it from my side. Any more questions from your end?
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Lalit seems like I would definitely help him. This is not. I'm not trying to tell that I would be, but Piyush, it would be fun to interview. Okay, that's great. Thank you.